Righty-ho, let's get into this. Let's get in. I'm just going to check my sound because I need to make sure, obviously, that everybody can hear me and whatnot. I believe you can. I believe you all can. I can hear myself on the stream anyway. You know. Now, how are we all? Tonight, I have a biggie for you. This is the Division 1 opener. It is Missclick versus Titxns, and it is the first game in Ellipsis League Division 1. The second game will be followed straight after this, and it's going to be Genesis versus R6 Siege Shitters, which is not the greatest name I've ever came across in my life. Hello, JB, how are you? Yeah, so we're going to be going to Oregon. It's a best of one. There is overtime points available should it happen. So 3 points for a win, 2 points for an overtime win, 1 point for an overtime loss, and 0 points if you lose altogether. But it's Titxns versus Missclick, and it's looking like it's going to be a banger. I'm hoping. There is, of course, a couple of other streams going on at the same time. We do have DW versus Paradox and High Voltage versus Purity, which are, if you are in the Discord, which will appear up if you all chat, the link will appear in my chat, and you'll be able to go there. You can go to the Twitter, and you can go to the Discord. Yes, so you can go view that. Yes, you can have a look at the players and stuff. Obviously, we'll see it at the next scene anyway. You're going to see it on the next screen. You'll see that in a second. Yes, Harrison, both of these games are Division 1. So my game, the first one is Missclick versus Titxns, then it's going to be Genesis versus R6 Shitters. There is, at the exact same time as this, there's another 2 games going on. Both of those are Division 2. I do encourage you to jump between them and go and see what's happening on the other games and stuff as well. Because you never know, you might find some bangers in Division 2 as well. You never know. Titxns are previously Counteract Academy, so this will actually be quite interesting to see because these players all know each other. So you've got Pizza, Dobrovde, Connor, and the second Fod on Missclick, and then on the attack side, which is going to be your Titxns team, is Zani, I think, is Icy on a different account. I believe Icy's the captain, if I remember rightly. I will be calling him as Zani in this because that's just the account they've had to use, but it is what it is. You've got DTX, Bomboy, Fluxy, and Kasif on the side of Titxns. Like I say, there is quite a few games going on. Jump between them. Feel free to hop in and out. It's not going to hurt my feelings. If you're going to drop between multiple games, it's up to yourself. KX, KSIV, whatever. Some people say it differently. Just depends on what you want to do. The bans, though, that we did see right at the start was Valkyrie and Thatcher being banned away from Missclick, and Mira and Ying, interestingly enough, being banned away by the attacking side of Titxns. So they've potentially seen something coming out the brilliant mind of Fod for that Ying attack. I have seen it quite a few times, so that is definitely probably one of those ones that could be considered a target ban. The Mira, though, that's of course a pretty steady ban on the likes of Oregon. Very effective in stopping that push into bunker, and there's a couple of other points that are considered pressure points that people want to try and get hold of that the Mira is helpful to use, but that will be closed off for the time being. Valkyrie and Thatcher as well, standard bans on this map as well. Not surprised to see the Thatcher ban usually banned away a lot. Valk banned as well to stop any of those cams getting tossed outside. Fod going for an early spawn peek from that army stair window, though. It's actually a piece of Parker with the opening pick that's going to be collecting Zania outside of that that main door, even, should I say. He was holding that from, I believe that's upstairs. I think that was from the window upstairs. So he's back in sight, so that must be where he's found that lucky pick. He did put the diffuser down cold as a result of that, but I suspect that they will be able to collect that quite simply enough. Connor Wilson down below, though, he's going to feel the pressure in just a minute as Kasif moves into that garage there, and they could drone each other, though, back to back as he moves out to try and take the gunfight, though, but he's going to have to try and impact away that Twitch drone, but there's one pressure from the door as well, so Connor's feeling the pressure now here as he is able to get himself into the staircase somehow. It goes for the double swing, back out, gets rid of the drone, and is now somehow able to escape the clutches of both of those players that were inside the map there. Kasif, though, will feel the pressure from above as that impact grenade will open it up. A piece of Parker is swung and put in the dirt by DTX, but DTX is immediately refragged by Connor Wilson's side of Trophy, and that brings us into a 3 versus 4, just as Fluxy goes in for the refrag onto Connor Wilson to collect that inside of Trophy. Now they have some established control inside of the master room. Fluxy moved all the way up, has at least one Twitch drone left now, and is able to utilise that to get rid of some of the utility inside of Trophy. That was a Valk cam, not a Valk cam even, taken off. It was, I believe, the default cam taken down, as Dobrovsky still playing patient game behind this shield inside of the drop down and attic, holding on to that trophy area. Should anyone decide to push in from there, they will have to try and deal with this smoke player. Bomboy now getting aggressive onto the door, utilising the melee to try and get rid of that barbed wire though, but the Flores drones start to come in behind to get rid of some of the utility, and it will suspect that this is going to come in and try and get rid of that shield. As the bulletproof camera faces up to that door, they're going to be feeling the pressure breathing down their neck to move in through that trophy area. They've only got a minute left on the clock and there's been no movement in terms of this wall. FOD is comfortable inside the site and they're going to have to try and funnel through this one door and beat down the pressure that Dabrowski is going to put up now. These smoke waves are going to be slung out now as the first one is able to be dispatched. Air jab gets sent in there though. FOD is able to deal with that quite effectively, and K7 is now moving for the rotate round to go in from the double window, but End of Sack is on that side as well, so they're going to have to face up towards each other. Though has his back towards it though, and he'll now hear that singing off and knows that there's going to be a player on that double window, which is K7 still on the Flores. But another player has rotated around, it's Fluxy as well. Twitch moving around to double up for this pinch as Bomboy swings the door. Dabrowski feels the pressure a little bit though, swings out one of those smoke babes just to make sure that no one can push in as he goes for a peek onto the double window to help his teammate and End the Sack. But FOD is still wedged firmly into the games area now behind the couch. Knows that there's going to be some players pushing in there, but Bomboy is going to have to make a move now as FOD's going to hold strong, sends the C4, but the shotgun from Dabrowski is going to find its mark now, and no one, they're going to be sending it in through this window as Fluxy moves up the white stairs though, but Case is going to be put in the dark by End the Sack, but no, they can't find a route in there as, of course, the opening round is going to go towards Missclick, who were so comfortable after that early round effort. How's everybody tonight? I'm a little bit rusty on casting, you know, I haven't casted for a wee while, so it's a little bit, it's getting there. It's getting there, we're getting back in it. This is only the second cast in a month, I think, so I'm a little bit rusty. I think everybody is, because, you know, comp's not been, it's not been booming for the last wee while, just because obviously with Christmas, you know, a couple of collapses, a couple of other leagues and stuff, which is just unfortunate. A couple of other leagues just came to a conclusion. I think just there's been a little bit of staleness in the comp scene for a bit. It's nice to see some rosters have remained together. It's nice to see the likes of Missclick have came together and stayed as one team. And of course we do see Titxns being that new roster. They are technically part of an older roster. They were together already prior to Christmas, but you know, they picked a couple of extra players and of course changed that name, changed that org over, so they are, let's consider them a new team. Obviously Missclick are some of the old dogs and they've been here for a while. They've won a few things. They are just off the back of a win inside of Shadow League for, I believe, some of the players, this is the second season in a row that they've actually won it, so they will be feeling good for their money on this season now. This was a £10 entry fee into this. The prize pool is £100, so the winners will be walking away with a stellar £70, where the runner-up will be walking away with 30. So there's a decent amount to play for here, and they'll be feeling the competitive edge certainly inside of this matchup here. The Dabrowski is set up inside of Elbow for the time being, and will be starting off inside of there, and will not be moving much, I don't imagine. I don't see any early runouts or spawn peaks for the time being. FOD has brought along the Clash. He does like to come up with some of these exciting picks and exciting, let's say spicy, let's say you could say something different. It just depends how you want to describe it. But you know the FOD's got a really deep pool when it comes to his strats here. He's all the way out inside of Bunker, just causing a nuisance for anybody who decides to push on there. A couple of bits of utility tossed in there, and Ada's thought about for a wee second there from the Maverick, but decides better of it as the Flores drone is going to push FOD all the way back in. There is some Womai disc there to prevent some of these projectiles getting sent in, as Flores, Ayana and of course the Maverick are all standing there trying to toss in some of that utility. The nade is sent over there from the Maverick this time, but it's not going to find anything there as they all stack up onto this bunker trying to get rid of FOD here, still causing a massive nuisance, but they haven't been able to get anything in yet. FOD's still the aggressor as always, sending in there, but that's a beautifully timed nade, but just caught out by the ADS, taken down there, and somehow FOD is still alive. That nade was beautifully cooked there, but just didn't quite get far enough away from that ADS to land the shots onto FOD, who still holds strong onto the bunker door. It's a minute gone for these attackers to try and break down this defence, and they still haven't been able to get the key to unlock this door that FOD holds now. Bomboy though, he's hiding in the corner, and FOD hasn't realised he's there and shot him in the back, and now that'll give them the inroad that they need. The Dabrowski will feel the pressure coming in from Elbow, but I'm the sack straight back with the fight onto a DTX and finds that pick to bring it into a 4 versus 4 situation. Piece of Parker and Connor Wilson don't have much to do on this other side, though Zani tries to go in for a creep here from behind, though, but can't quite land the shots though, but the swing and the miss from Zani, as Connor Wilson collects the head and puts him in the dirt. Now it's a 3 versus 4 situation. The Brody still clings on for dear life inside of Elbow, but the pressure will be mounting. But there's not enough utility that they can commit to this. There's no more nades left in pocket here from Bomboy. They're going to have to try and use those guns. They're going to have to just push. They do have the ace, so they can get rid of the shield, but the shield is gone now. There is some mute jammers that they're going to have to deal with. They're going to have to push in here as Dubrovde with the shotgun again is going to find Bomboy, who got aggressive, and they're just going to have to keep on pushing through to try and find this in-row into the round here, as Kasev has meant to rotate up through onto the rear stage stairs but can't move down there. But they're going to hear that barbed wire getting hit, and the Sack's actually not aware of it and decides to go into bunker now to try and pressure onto Fluxy. They know that he's there, he's tossed it through, but there's a 2 versus 3 situation arising as Connor Wilson's picked up inside a pillar, and I am the Sack though with the swing and finds Fluxy, but now it's a 1 versus 3 situation for Kasev, and he can't quite land the shots on the swing, and the shot lands from Pizza Parker, and Missclick collect their second round of the game. So alright, I am still moderating a couple of other games at the same time, so I'm still trying to keep on top of that. Missclick are able to take up their second round. That's 2 on the bounce. They are able to try and put up there. The defences are really good from Missclick there, so I'm not too surprised to see that going this way. But yeah, we'll hopefully see Titxns find a foothold in this one. They just kept pushing it there. They forced it. They actually eventually did get rid of Fod, and that was quite effective, and that did help them, but they weren't able to get in far enough. They weren't able to then get past the Brovdi, who held on for so long inside the elbow, was able to get themselves a pick or two, and that was just to the detriment of Titxns, and unfortunately they were not able to collect a round there. But Missclick take us into the lead. This is their, of course, the opening fixture for Division 1, if I haven't already mentioned, or if you missed that before. There are going to be some links that will eventually appear in the chat. There is my Twitter. You can probably find it from my Twitter if you want, but there will be a link that will appear if people chat. There will one. It's just one of the bots. You'll find a link for the Ellipsis League. So they run by myself and a few other members as well. So you can get involved in that. 2 divisions tonight. You're going to see Division 1 from myself in this game, and then a second game in the Division 1 as well straight after, which will be Genesis versus R6 Siege Jitters. But we have for you now Missclick, who are doing really, really well to pull into the lead versus Titxns as they now begin their attack in the third round. Moving in from the north, I was going to say north there, and the compass kind of moved a little bit there. I don't know why the compass isn't moving, but hey-ho. The northeast side. Oh, yeah, that was a bit funny. That was a bit weird. It's supposed to be the northeast side, but it's the south. Like, look at that. Yeah, the compass is a bit weird. Hey-ho. Anyway, they move through here as Fod holding on to a cheeky position here. He's going to go for the swing. Can I land the shot? Oh, he can. He can't find one. Can he find the second? As he goes for the swing and a push. Yes, he does. He finds the double. In the green hallway, shuts down the sneak. And Fod will be absolutely delighted with that result there. He just caught them out trying to be too sneaky, pushing in from that green area, but just weren't able to land any shots at all onto Fod. He's able to get that double. He'd be looking for the triple here. He'd be looking for some clips to add to his collection, as he knows that there's going to be quite a bit of pressure coming in from that green side, as there was, of course, another pick on the other side. Connor Wilson was collected as well, but Fod now is going to be the ever-aggressor onto the green hallway as he moves up onto the door, but just decides to peek a little bit and move back to his position inside of the kitchen area. He's comfortable in there for the time being. I think he's thinking about going for the swing. He's thinking about the triple here. He's have to move off of that wall, as the wall is now opened up, courtesy of Kasev and Zany matching up together and opening up that wall with a double up. Now the swing will come round here though, but can he get his third body? Does see the one, he didn't land the shot, so Fluxy on top with the F2 singing loudly above the MP5K of Fod, and now it's a 2 versus 3 situation, as of course there was another pick at the same time. I didn't quite see who it was, but Fluxy and Kasev have all to do with the remaining members of Missclick of Pizza Parker, Dubrovdi, and I am the Sack left on side. And Sack is above for now, holding onto the breach with his cheeky angle onto that hole that they've made there, so they will not be able to move in there without him at least putting a little bit of pressure onto them, but they're not quite going to go for that just yet. He's going to move off that angle as well, so they have an opportunity should they decide to take it, though, but it's going to take a little bit of a gunfight towards a player that is towards security, but there is no player there, as I am the sack is still above, holding onto this angle, but is again going to decide to hop off of it for the time being, and this is all going to come down to timing, whether it's going to be on this angle or off this angle when these players hop through this breach. They're going to see that Flores drone coming in, though. They're going to know that they're going to be trying to get rid of this. Some of this utility, the shield will be dealt with, and Pizza Parker will now have a little bit of pressure to deal with. Dubrovdi takes up this aggressive position inside of security, and these smoke waves are going to be absolutely beautifully utilised inside of the security area as they're sent out onto the main breach to stop K7 in his tracks, as he can't move, he can't go for the push in towards the main breach now. He's going to have to wait, though, and there's still smoke waves left for Dubrovdi. He's still got two. He's going to send another one, though. K7 gets down, though, and now a Foxy and a 1 versus 3, but can he come out on top? No, he can't. It's Dubrovdi with the swing, beautifully done. Dubrovdi finds the double on the round with the smoke babe, and then the headshot beautifully connects with the run across, and Missclick take their third round in a row. How is everybody tonight? You've been awfully quiet. That's what I've noticed after New Year, and chats have been quite quiet. I guess, like, obviously there's a couple of other streams and stuff going on. So, you know, maybe people are in other chats and stuff, which is fine. But it's, you know, it's up to yourself. Depends how you want to go about it. But yeah, good start. 3 rounds in. Missclick are currently on top, and they seem to be well and truly in control. It doesn't look like Titans have really had an inroad into this, which is unfortunate because it did look like it was going to be a decent matchup. So hopefully Titans are able to try and recover it in this second half of the first half. That's an interesting one. Second half of the first half. And get going and get cooking with some of these picks and some of these pushes. But again, I think, personal experience, that Missclick are one of the best defensive sided teams. They're some of the creativity that these guys show, especially for being a console team. They're definitely up on top for some of these setups and stuff. They're just great setups. Let's be honest. Color custom is never ever my strong point.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds to go.
Back up to the top floor though. Bedroom again will be utilised at this time, or not bedroom. I guess it's, you know, dorms. If you want to be exact with it. Fought on a little bit of roam there. Finds that drone eventually after putting up a little bit of a fight inside of the main lobby, but is able to get rid of that drone, and now all 5 members of Titans are dedicated to moving in from the west side. No players dedicated to going to that attic side. Connor's been cheeky here inside of the closet. He knows that these players are going to want in here and get in here nice and early, and he's not been droned yet, and I don't know if he has the utility to stop the drones. He doesn't actually have any mute jammers, which is very interesting that he's chosen not to do that, but the drone's going to come in there, and Connor Wilson's going to go for the swing, and I've actually just unfortunately got the wrong player, but Connor's dealt with, and it's Fluxy on top. He finds Fod, and Zany finds Connor Wilson at the same time, and now the push comes in from Zany in towards the bedroom, and they have control. They've managed to get rid of 2 of those cheeky players that were swinging out towards Trophy and bedroom. Kasif, it moves on to the armory stairs window to try and get rid of these players that are now established inside of bedroom, as Pizza Parker makes the rotate round underneath. The air jab is set up there, and he's actually going to be caught just with a miss time, unfortunately, but can he shoot it off? It looks like he can shoot this off, and are they going to be aware of that? They're not going to hear that. They're not going to know that he's got rid of that air jab, and he moves all the way through. He's going to go for the flank, and the wall has now been opened up. There is a player on top of the wall right now. Zany is holding on to that, and the swing across the wall does come, but Pizza Parker has got himself established in a position that they will not be expecting them to be in. As DTX turns the corner, he's not going to know where Pizza Parker is. If he plays the patience game, he's going to have to wait, hold the trigger discipline, which we've seen before from Pizza earlier in the week. He finds one, but can he go for 2? Yes, he can. He finds the double. He brings it back into a 3 versus 3 situation. If anybody can do it, it's Pizza Parker that can do it, and he moves through the breach, and he has control of the site again. 3 versus 3. Now they move round for the rotate. They're going to go for the static push now. They're going to bring out the Maverick to open up these holes and get themselves established here. But Dubrovdi is wise to it. He knows it's happening. He's going to bring along this SMG-11 to try and peek into some of these holes, and he's going to make himself aware that they are moving in there, and he knows that they will begin to try and constrict towards this attic area. Fluxy holding across on the other side though, one to this double window, putting the pressure onto any place to decide to try and cross the site and try to punish them, but they're not going to be biting just yet. Missclick, they're going to play the waiting game and just hold out patiently. They are very patient players, and they will hold on for as long as possible. I'm the sack, still holding on to this dorm area behind this bunk bed. Fluxy still tries to put the pressure on Mumbai, and Kasif eventually get that wall opened up, but Dubrovdi is still in there with all 3 smoke babes. He's just sent 1 down, or sorry, 2 down, as he has one left in pocket to try and deny these players moving. And Kasef hops in through the window, and now we'll have to try and pinch from the other side as the Brovde still holds on to the attic. He sends that smoke babe out just perhaps a little bit too early. Now Bombay's going to have the opportunity to go for the pinch. Kasef rotates round to get the breach, and the pinch is going to have to come. Where they're going to have to put the pressure from. Bombay pushes from attic though, but the Brovde's wise to it. He goes for the swing. He's not going to be able to land any shots though. He knows that they're on default plan. The diffuser's going to be able to go down, but Kasef's going to opt to not even go for the plan yet. He goes for it now eventually, but Bombay's going to have to try and cover it. They know he's going to swing, but can he go for it? Yes, Pizza Parker again with a triple on the round. Beautifully done. Finds the double early on the round to bring it back in a 3 versus 3 and closes it out by killing the planter in that second default spot. And Missclick take their 4th round of the matchup. Ooh-wee. I didn't expect this one to be such a gulping class. I thought this was going to be a bit closer. If I'm totally honest. Thanks for the follow, Reese G. I really appreciate it. I think we're coming up on like 300 followers or something. We're having a time. This has been a fun game so far though, so I'm having fun. I hope everybody else is having fun. We are having a time here, aren't we? We're having a good time. I wonder how the other games are going. Obviously I can't see that well, we play. Of course, stick around. We will have another game after this. I will likely end the stream, just so that the guys can have separate VODs, just so the VODs aren't put together. Yeah, and just to make it easier for everybody and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I'm getting an at and another. 10 seconds before insertion. 5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb. Apologies for a second, I just had to very quickly check a chat there, as I was getting a wee bit of hassle. Pizza Parker going for an early spawn peek to see if anybody can be picked off early on. He's going to hold on to this angle, see if anybody comes round. It's Fluxy that's on the other side of that, so could be on the receiving end of a couple of bullets to the skull from Pizza Parker, who's looking to try and extend their lead as one of the top fraggers for the match. Decides to drop back though, is going to shoot a couple of drones, so they're going to know that he's down there, as DTX now comes in from the pinch inside of the tier 2. Is Pizza Parker now still up there? They're going to start to drone him out, and they know that he's up there. He's gone all the way to tier 3, and he's going to put his stand up on the top there. Pizza Parker takes quite a bit of damage there. Sorry, not quite a bit of damage, a little bit of damage from that nade there. As DTX finds the Brovde down below though, he's pushed in and got himself a pick below. That was on the staircase as they pushed up there to try and get rid of him there. No, but Kasef takes a bit of damage inside a bunker. They've opted not to bring along the clash again this time though, and a down is going to come out though. This time it's going to be Zany that found it by Connor Wilson. Connor Wilson is taken down. His FOD is found as well. Zany just goes down the back stairs and finds a double, and now it's a 4 versus 2. Technically a 5 versus 2, but there's one down the outside, so they're going to have to try and recover this Missclick. And a shot comes out for I am the sack to find Zany. Pizza Parker at the same time finds Bomboy, and now it's a 1 versus 3 now, as Pizza Parker comes all the way down to tier 2, but they don't know that their diffuser is cold and out on the other side of the map. Does he have the information about that? Is he going to have to go for the rotate round? It looks as though he's going to move round onto the hatch and put the pressure down below. The red pings are coming out, the yellow pings come out. They know they have information, and just the bad timing there as the player moved up onto the hole, and the shot will not be found by Pizza Parker as he still holds on to this hatch. But as the diffuser picked up, it's still cold somewhere on the other side of the map, as they're going to have to move up and get it. It's outside the 0 of Kasef, moves round to get it. Pizza Parker's going to drop the hatch, and now he's going to try and find these shots. They know that he's dropped. They're going to have the information. He's going to go round towards the elbow. He's going to have to face up against his own shield if he can try and put the fight onto that player, as he gets swung again from the player inside a pillar now, and he's going to get pinched from behind. They're using their own setup against him as Fluxy's behind that shield, and he goes for the swing at top, and finally Titxns are able to fight off the attack of Missclick, or defense even Missclick. Icy just went in the chat, I don't get it, I don't know how you flank every single time. For those of you that aren't aware and haven't, don't play in comp scenes, or maybe just spectate, there's a match chat between the teams, obviously, for them to organise, and they can talk to each other and stuff. And it's always quite funny to have that going on in the background, or saying that, obviously, to make sure that if there's any protests or anything like that comes out. But it's quite funny to see the players when they kind of talk about it during the game. But that was just one that made me giggle a little bit as you seen. Do you guys flank every time? That's what he said. Missclick though, a little bit shaky there, and I feel like that was more down to the fact that Zany, let's call it a hero play down, just was seen the opportunity to move down that back stairs and go for the double kill, picked it up and was able to establish the control that he needed inside of sight. Pizza was upstairs, they didn't deal with him. I knew he was going to cause issues for them on the attack as he just stayed up on tier 3, moved up and down, he caused some issues that he got in the faces of Titxns, and it was just a nuisance all round, and he was able to eventually get himself some picks from it, but not enough to get the round and not enough to get it inside for Missclick. But they'll not be too bothered about that. That's just one slip up on them on their defence and an otherwise flawless performance so far. Moving down back onto the kitchen and dining area, they're opting not to go back to the basement for a retry, and instead they're going to bring it along this off-site that they did like to play in that last one, so they're going to show something again in that respect. Ford has been a little bit cheeky and holding on to some angles, or not even, I think it's just on cams inside a small tower there. I'm going to wait to see if anybody moves in from that direction, but it looks as though it will be a meeting side take as they move in from that west side. DTX and Bomboy are again going for this green side push, but Ford last time was able to shut that down with a double kill, and they're going to hope that no one's going to be on that for this time being as well. Connor knows that there could be a player moving around here, and he moves up and gets aggressive again. They could be getting caught out with the same exact shot there, but no one is going to be in the dirt just yet as DTX takes a little bit of a lick of damage from Connor. Whilst Pizza Parker moves up to put an ADS on the door as well. I am the Sack is down below and could go for a flank if they are not careful. Zany's inside a meeting here, and I am the Sack is going to begin the rotate round. He knows that there's a player inside of Garage. He knows that they've gotten the pressure onto Fod, and the players came right across. Can I get the shot? Can I get the down? He does manage to find it, and they're going to be unfortunately picking up a pick there as he moves down, feels the pressure. I am the Sack is not able to get away the refrag from Fluxy, and it's a 4 versus 4, but Connor Wilson is taken down at the same time as I am the Sack is found. Sorry, no, I don't know why I'm calling that out again, but it is what it is. Bomboy moves down the green hallway but decides to pull back as Ford's in a very sticky situation trying to get rid of the feet of some of these players moving through there as Dubrovde again pushes up, gets aggressive onto Z, but Pizza Parker's going to have to come and try and pick him up and try and save his teammate as you see the player around, but can land the shot. Yes, he can. Pizza Parker on top. DTX is in the dirt now, and it's a 2 versus 2 situation as Ford is able to pick up Bomboy, but there's one above now. It's Pizza Parker with a rotate. He's going to get a double in the round. Can he get the triple and close this out? It's just one more player left. Can he land the shot? No. He pulls back into sight. It's a 1 versus 2 as Ford again put the pressure on the other side, gets rid of the ace charges, but they're not going to go off because they were muted, and Fluxy is the only one left, and he doesn't have ace charges to redeposit onto that wall. Pizza Parker holds strong inside of the showers to wait for Fluxy coming along, but not yet will they be facing off towards each other. Ford knows that he could be inside the security. They're going to have some information. He knows it now. The calls came out, the yellow ping, but not enough. Can the C4 find him? No, it can't. Fluxy pushes up. Now Pizza Parker's going to be in a much better scenario than where Fluxy's pushing in. The yellow ping's coming out. They have the information, and I don't think that Fluxy's aware they have the information. He's just waiting on them to push through and find the pick. Pizza Parker's on for a triple here now. He knows that the player's moving in from the showers area. He's going to try and come through the rotate, I believe, or go for the door. He's going to have to make a decision to see if he moves in, but he's not got rid of the default camera. They know where he is. Pizza with a swing, triple kill in the round, and Fluxy's in the dirt. Titxns are in the dirt, and Missclick take a 5-1 lead on the half. Missclick again with the win on the dine-in site. They move across. They go across on to the defence this time for Titxns, and the attack now for Missclick. Now, for those of you in chat, I do encourage you to, if you see any clips that you like, if you see any casting from myself that you like, I do encourage you to clip it, to throw it into the lounge if you're, if you're just a fan of the team. You can DM me direct. It's up to yourself. But we do have a couple of weekly awards. We do have Player of the Week. We do have the I'm having a mind blank here. We've got Player of the Week. We've got Cast of the Week. We've got Play of the Week. Some of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so there's quite a few things. So if there's anything you see, any shots that you like, any holds that you like, anything at all, do hit the lounge inside of the Discord and shout them out. Clip them on my channel, you know, give me a shout if you like them. You know, let's give these some of these players the rewards for the games that they are playing. I wish that Pizza though is putting himself in for a run for the Player of the Week in both this division and the Division 2. So he is putting on the work.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds remaining.
This time, Missclick though are on the attack, and I've always thought the Missclick were a much stronger side on the defence. Not to say that their attack is bad, but their defence are just some of the best I've seen in Siege, so they're going to come up with a couple of things for this, I believe. You know, Zany's moved himself into armory. He's going to cause a bit of a nuisance here for Pizza, and I'm the sack that move in there, though. Pizza is on the Twitch, scarily enough, bringing in a 1.5 this time with that high fire rate there. Zany jumps out the window, and as he goes for the double, he finds Pizza, but he's down. He's refragged instantly. Zany is found by I'm the sack right away, doubling up together, and it's a 4 versus 4. Now, as Pizza is shut down, that could be to the detriment of Missclick there. Trying to find a couple of drones there, as tried to find Connor Wilson, but he's up into the bedroom. There's no one holding on to trophy at all. There's absolutely no one on this side. Of course, they got rid of that player inside that armory very early on. He's gave it away, as Connor Wilson now moves up to trophy. Has the control that he needs, has established that in bedroom as well. Ford was onto the window, and the sacks below as well, and the beautiful C4 is going to come out there just as we find Ford as well, taken off by DTX. Bombay holds onto the trophy door. It's a 2 versus 4 situation as I'm the sack is now on the trophy door, and he's the one that's going to have to try and put up with these players behind that shield. I actually don't know where the C4 came from. I didn't see where it came from. I think it came just straight over the top of the shield and was just beautifully thrown. And the sack though, I think he's going to try and get rid of the mute jammer, and does eventually get rid of that mute jammer so that the Brobdy can't open up that wall. But I think he's just going to have to pull out and go below. I think that he's thinking of changing it up a little bit and go for a slightly different approach. As the Brobdy opens up the wall, and they now have an opportunity for more pressure to come in here. As Fluxy hold on to that attic area, as DTX still holds strongly onto this shield. It has a little bit of a tight angle here, and it's not the greatest angle to hold against the 2x scope of the Brobdy that is outside. Should he try and take this gunfight? He knows there's a player there, but the pre-fire comes out but can't quite land the shots. Either of them can, but I think that the Brobdy just turned his head at the wrong time there, and somehow is still alive as DTX can't quite land the shots though. But still, they're going to have to deal with this. The DTX hold above this shield, but there's nothing that they can do to get rid of it. They're going to have to try and burn the ADS on the door and then get rid of the shield to try and find the shots. So, but the Brobdy's pushed all the way up now onto the breach, and he knows that there could be a player moving in from the attic side, but there's a player of Fluxy. I think he's going to go for the swing across to try and take the one, but he doesn't know that he's going to be holding it from this angle. The Brobdy holds it tight towards the attic side, or from the kid rotate though. He goes for the swing though, but can't land the shot. He pushed across. He's in the default plan. It's a 3 versus 1, but shot in the back. Fluxy shuts it down, and Titxns collect another round. Yeah, Harrison, I definitely agree with Pizza's crosshair placement being some of the best you've seen. He's one of the best players, I think, I've seen on console. I remember way back when I first started comp, I played with Pizza. I remember thinking, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. Anywho, 5-2. Titxns take another round. That's 2 rounds for them. Not on a roll, but it's the first round that they've taken on the defense. I didn't think it was anything that Missclick had done wrong. I just think it was a really good attempt at a hold for the side of Titxns. There was a couple of gaps, but they were able to try and plug them up, especially with a C4 and a couple of well-placed shots. That will always be to the detriment of the other team. But down to the basement we go, as we're going to provide another setup from Titxns.
Activating jammer.
5-2 on the score line now, as we're in the 7th round, or well, we're into the 8th round now. Bringing along mute jammers, bringing along the Militia Banshee devices to cause a nuisance inside a bunker. It looks as though this is where the majority of the hold will be. K7 is going to be the one that's in charge of that. Has the shield in hand, and of course we'll be holding on to elbow, as we do see from most smoke remains. I am the sack has the drone set up inside of bunker, so it looks like that could be a point of attack for them. And you can see at the top of your screen, northeast side is going to be looking very busy, as 4 members at least of Missclick are in there, and it looks like they're moving quickly, as Kasev's going to be feeling the pressure in just a moment. I think that someone's going to be shooting down this barricade. This could potentially be a rush, but it just depends. I think they just get in a comfortable position for the time being, and I think we're going to have to try and go and find wherever the other player is playing. I think it's Fod. It is Fod. He's the one that's bringing along the knock, and he's been cheeky here, but he doesn't know that Bomboy's there. Bomboy hasn't made himself aware of the situation. He's shown Fod where he is, and Fod's going to go for the swing, but it's going to be Bomboy on top, and he shuts down that sneaky play from Fod there, but Connor Wilson's going to find the bounce back as he gets a double. He's going to be raging that I've missed that clip because I was too busy looking at whether Fod could be sneaky on the other side there. Zany finds I am the sack. Connor Wilson's on a double already for the round, and he'll be looking to try and collect himself the 4K. He has to get a couple more players though, but Pizza Parker's going to find Zany, and they have the control inside the bunker, but they don't know where the other players are. There's one inside a freezer, and one's just came through the rotate in towards Laundry. Bombay goes for the flank through, but Pizza Parker doesn't know he's there. The pre-fires come out, the drones are coming through, and they do know where he is, but Connor Wilson holds onto the door. He's going to wait for the swing to come out. He gets to down, but shoots his teammate in the back as well. Triple kill for Connor, but he's immediately shot in the face by Fluxy. Swings through, but now it's Pizza Parker. If anybody can come out on top, it's 1 versus 1 now. Fluxy versus Parker, and see if they can come out on top here for Missclick or Titxns. They're both on the either side of the map here as they are fighting over whether they can get in and get the control that they need. Fluxy's moved all the way back to Laundry. It's an interesting place to play. It's given up quite a bit of the control that there is. Pizza Parker is able to try and get the diffuser back. He's able to get it back. Fluxy will have that call. He'll know that he have it back, and Pizza Parker gets immediately on the drones. He knows what he has to do. He knows he has to fight these players. He has set up his drone in that rotate so that he can see, they can hold and show the players on his team where they are potentially going to be moving from. Fluxy hasn't moved the entire time. Pizza Parker's still droning, trying to find where Fluxy is playing. He doesn't know, doesn't have the information, he's not aware. He's going to go for the plant though, but Fluxy's not going to hear that. He's too far away to hear that. He's going to go for the swing, and doesn't know where he is. Is he going to get the swing in time? Sends the C4, but it's not going to be enough. As Pizza Parker is going to turn around, and he's going to try and shoot him in the back, and he does land it. Pizza Parker with a big brain play, and finds the pick. So that one a bit too fast there. So big brain play. So that one 5 times fast. Beautifully done. If anybody was going to come on top, it would be Pizza Parker, of course, one of the best players I have seen, and I think it's going to be on top this week for definitely in the run-in so far for the Division 1 Player of the Week. Next game, though, we're going to be having Genesis versus R6 Siege Shitters, so we'll see who can come out on top for that, and we'll see if anybody can put up just a good performance as we've seen from Pizza. You can see on the scoreboard it's 11-3. Now, the Player of the Week isn't decided by kills versus deaths. That's never how it's decided. Of course, that does help the scenario. However, in this case, there's been such big plays from Pizza. He's turned rounds around, and he's definitely put in a shift for Missclick this week, and he'll be gunning for that Player of the Week. I think he'll be definitely good for that. And of course, it is per division, so I'll be casting. I think I'm casting over all the games in Division 1 this weekend. Just because I'm free weekends now, so I have a lot of time. And I think that's just the way it's worked out. But hey ho. We move on to the next one. Match point now for Missclick as they are feeling themselves after 8 rounds. They now have the 7th and final round, hopefully for them. But Titxns will have something to say about that. They've opted to go back down to the basement. They didn't do too bad there. I think they were just caught out at the same time. So they focused 2 players over on the other side to get rid of Fod and his sneaky tactics moving in from that west side. But because they'd committed 2 players to that, it meant that there was a little bit of a gap for the players to push in from the bunker side. So they were able to get the control inside of there. They've opted instead not to put a bunker hold, interestingly enough. They're opting instead to just bandit that off and reinforce that and make sure that these players can't move in. Now, 4 members again for Missclick have spawned here though, and I think there's a C4 in hand here from Zany there, and I think they're going to have to drone in and try and find these players though and see where the players are. Zany is holding tight on the right hand side door. Connor Wilson goes in for this push. He can't land the shot. Yes, he can. Finds one opening pick. As now the call is going to have to come out though, but he doesn't know that there's a player so close up to him on that door. You just see the head go across, but he can't land the shots. Goes for the swing again, but can't again land the shots. As again he's going to try to find this crucial pick here to flip it. He finds another pick in here, and it's going to be pretty much all she wrote for Titxns for this matchup, but not quite going for the aggression just yet. Pizza Parker now has the gun 6 in hand to get rid of some of that utility. The nades are cooking and sending through. Now Pizza is going to move up to the pillar area to try and get control, but Connor's feeling the aggression. He's moved all the way up to pillar. He's feeling himself. He wants to land some shots here, but there's going to be some punishment for that as he moves up. Loses quite a bit of health though, but Fluxy is going to find Connor Wilson. Pizza Parker finds Bomboy, and now it's a 2 versus 4 situation. Pizza Parker's going to be on the hunt. Can he find another one? He finds it down on on the K7. It's going to be a double on the round for him at least. But can he get the triple across the 1 versus 4 situation? He's going to go for the triple. Piece of bark, close it. No! Fluxy is going to bite back with a 1 versus 3 now. Ford goes for the plant, but can he come out on top here? Has a lot to do. He has to try and find 3 picks on minimal health and then bring back that defuse. A triple kill though for Fluxy. If he picks this up now, it's going to be an ace for him on the round. But Dubrovdi and Ford will have something to say about that as Fluxy still holds on for dear life, and Dubrovdi to put him in the dirt and take Missclick. All 3 points for this evening. Missclick are your winners for their first game of Division 1 of Ellipsis League. All 3 points in the groups. And that is all she wrote for that game.